Vassell or Keldon that should move this upcoming season or before the season starts. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I would try my best to hold on to Devin Vassell because he brings so much depth to this team. And also, I mean, even though he's been kind of inconsistent shooting wise, we know what he's capable of. And this upcoming season, him being probably I want to say third option, but maybe fourth option is pretty ideal, right? I mean, that's as good as it gets. My camera just stopped for a minute. But that's as good as it gets. But I want to show you a few things. I know I'm considered a Keldon Johnson hater, okay? I know, but like, let me preface it by saying this. I know it won't do any good. People still feel how they feel. But let me say this. I think Keldon is an awesome Spur, okay? Like when it comes to the community, when it comes to off the court, when it comes to being a good teammate, when it comes to being encouraging, when it comes to trying his best to bring energy. Like, I think he's great for all those things, right? But being completely just transparent and honest with you, I don't think that what the Spurs need, he can bring. But yeah, there's a big but. Okay, there's a big but. All right, like who did the like big buts back in LA? That wasn't MC Hammer, was it? That was Sir Mix-a-Lot. All right, like yeah. There's a big but here. Okay, the big but is what the Spurs need, he cannot supply. All right. Not only is he inconsistent 3-point shooting wise, he's one of the worst in the NBA, and I'm gonna show that in a minute. But then it's like, okay, can you at least be a decent defender? And he's a terrible defender. And not only is he a terrible defender individually, we have a pretty bad defense when he's on the court, even with Wembanyama, opposed to even someone like Julian Champagnie, right? Who's, I wouldn't say is like an elite defender or nothing like that, but as far as what he brings, he does a better job when Wemby is on the court. So let me at least show you this. So this was posted just a couple days ago, and it's like, good God. I mean, good God. So at the very least, guys that aren't great 3-point shooters, what you need from them is at least hit your corner threes, right? Because that ideally should be the easiest 3-point shot that you can get on the court. This past season, he's considered the worst corner 3-point shooter in the NBA. So this is among guys with the most 3-point attempts, right? 3-point attempts in the corner. 99, 27%. Literally one of the worst. And I look at some of the other guys on this list, not all of them, but some of them, it's like, okay, even if they're poor 3-point shooting wise, defensively, they bring enough to the table where you're okay with it, right? That you can kind of live with it to an extent. But that's not good. That's not good. And I know a few people bringing up Champagnie. Crazy. It's ridiculous. And I know some people have brought up Julian Champagnie, like talking about like how well each player finishes around the rim. Like they were like, well, Champagnie can't finish around the rim, which isn't necessarily true. I think under 5 feet, he's averaging 60%. But he doesn't take a lot. That's the thing. He doesn't take a lot of them. Whereas Keldon Johnson, he does take more, and he's like 62%. So, but Keldon Johnson is better at finishing at the rim, sure. But that's not necessarily what the Spurs need right now, right? You have players that can do that, but also who can defend. So as far as defense goes, this is what I found, right? It was just me like talking to somebody in the chat, and shout out to Ty Yeager because he actually posted this first, and I looked it up after. But it was true. So defensively, Julian Champagnie has done a pretty good job versus how Keldon has done. So when Keldon's on the court with Wemby, we are 38% percentile. All right, 38th percentile. I can't say that. I can never say that right. If you want to know about percentiles, the higher the number, the better. That's all you need to know, okay? 38th percentile is pretty bad. Versus when Julian Champagnie's on the court with Wemby, you're 86th percentile. Now, there's other factors as well, I'm sure, right? Like you can bring up maybe Julian's out there also with Sohan, right? And Keldon doesn't necessarily have that. But I think the eye test and statistic-wise, just Keldon individually, it's been pretty bad. His defense is really bad. And I don't really know what else to say, right? It's such a difficult thing because, like, if someone say, can you just give me one example? I can't because there's so many. And I remember us going live continuously and talking about it. Like every live stream after a game that was a little irritating to me, I could bring up a play where it's like, well, that's when we lost the momentum right there. And it usually comes down to Keldon and usually comes to teams attacking him. But that doesn't, let me just say this, okay? I know it doesn't matter. I just bashed him for like 3 minutes straight. This doesn't mean that I think Keldon can never fit with us, right? I don't think that he fits right now. In maybe if those 3-point percentages improve, because I don't think the defense is going to improve. Okay, we've seen Keldon do so many different things to try to improve, right? He lost all of that weight, but it seemed like that didn't really help him that much, right? His lateral quickness was still pretty poor. So I'm just saying, if he can be a consistent 3-point shooter, we're looking pretty good. Even a decent one in the corner, we're looking okay. Okay, but as of right now, within the system with Wemby, it hasn't been panning out that great. But I do think that if he can just improve his 3-point shooting, because that's what we'd be banking on, he has a definitive place on the team. But I don't care for the fact that his best performances usually come down when people are injured or the ball has to be in his hands, right? He's not the best decision maker in the world. So if he could just be a consistent 3-point shooter, we might be looking pretty good, right? And every now and then he can catch defenders off guard and then get to the paint, and that would be great. But yeah, but I don't think that this means he's trash. I don't think that this means he doesn't belong in the NBA. When I did that comparison and said, hey, him and Julian Champagnie, who do you think is better? I do think that overall he's a better player, right? He can be, at times, be pretty elite at getting to the rim. It's just with us right now, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. His best performances always involve a lot of volume. Yeah, it does. It does. And I think it's very telling that you could take someone like Castle, and sure, people giving him grace because he's a rookie, but Castle had a very poor shooting performance this year, right? He did. He didn't shoot that well. But you can kind of tell the amount of poise and the impact that he's having, even when the ball isn't in his hands, or even when he's not shooting well. Like, it's very apparent, because defensively he's that good, right? He's making key, even if it's not an assist, it's a pass to assist, right? It's always smart plays, play after play after play. It's the same reason why you can go back and you can watch Boris Diaw and look at his stats, and you're like, his stats aren't that impressive, but if you actually watch and pay attention, you see the impact he's having. Keldon's not necessarily doing that right now. So if we're talking about who the Spurs should think about moving, that's my take. That's my take. So I'm sure people are going to just see this and be like, oh my God, here you go hating on Keldon again. But it's the elephant in the room, in my opinion. So that's the elephant in the room for me.